Hello, welcome to, Fireside Chats, but online. My name is Obioma Enyinnaya. I am the Chief Strategy and Marketing Officer of Red Oak Technology Services. The purpose of these conversations and chats is just to look ahead and look at the future. If you don't know who we are, Red Oak is an organization that exists to really be at the cutting edge of cybersecurity, to prepare not just individuals, but corporations for bad actors and for the future of all things cybersecurity. And I'm excited because I am joined with the co-founder and the chief operating officer, Mr. Assion Tetteh. And I have a couple of questions for you, Ms. Ashion, but I wanted to just give you the floor, maybe for a minute or two. Tell us about yourself and tell us about cybersecurity, your love for it, your experience in it.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Obioma. It's a pleasure. I'm so delighted to join and let's chit chat this morning. Okay, so as you said, my name is Tetteh. I have over 15 years of IT support services in banking industry, where I provided consultancy for services for banks across Africa. I've had a privilege to do central bank implementation, commercial bank implementation. Um, I relocated to the US to do my master's in cybersecurity at the University of Maryland. I also write research articles because of my intensive professional experiences. 2 years ago, I had a privilege to did an expose on one of my article on cybersecurity for SMEs in Florida, Jacksonville, which was published in the as one of the articles of the conference at that time. So that's a brief of me. I think we'll have
Awesome.
an exciting chat today. Yeah.
Yes, I'm very excited. So I sent you these questions ahead of time, so I'm sure you've had plenty
Yeah.
of time to prepare. The
Yeah.
first question is, I just really want to examine the human factor in cyber defense. As AI-powered threats become more sophisticated, what shifts are you seeing in the skills and the mindset that's required for a cybersecurity professional? And are we still hiring for technical expertise first in this industry, or has the profile evolved?
Okay. Quite a very interesting question. Because the advent of AI has always triggered an interesting mindset. It's just like if you recall back, also when we had the advent of IT as a great shift in our human endeavors, there were all matter of anxiety. People were thinking, are we going to be replaced by computers? Are we
Right,
going to lose our job? So
right.
that sort of human relationship. And I think that going through that experience and also having the privilege to see what AI is bringing on board as far as the human technology is concerned, the same question is being asked. And I'm not surprised because, I mean, human always want to ask, um, does that mean that I'm going to lose my job again? Is AI
Right.
going to do everything? So that's the bottom line of it. I just want to say that from experience and also from the fact I've also done a bit of AI generative applications, both during my master's programs and also I've had the privilege to work, do a couple of, I did a project similar to what ChatGPT is with one company after school.
Okay.
Um, and to say that categorically AI is not going to replace human. Um, AI is going to complement the effort of human in the sense that AI has brought to bear quick and fast way of doing things. For example, if we look at especially the GRC environment, governance, risk, and compliance, is where before you are able to do your risk categorizations, you have to be able to do a lot of manual works across systems, across board, and do your risk level before you are able to determine what is your level of exposure
Mm.
and put out measures to be able to curtail that. AI has given us a strong advantage to do those things as a click of button,
Yeah.
where we can analyze thousands, even or millions of logs at the same time from different interfaces, whether it's on mobile banking, whether it's on ATM, whether it's on internet services, whether it's on database level, whether it's on um, firewall level or operating system level, we can aggregate all these logs on one system, which we normally call incidents and event management platform. And through our AI tool, we can analyze these logs and determine right from the word go what is our level of exposure. So that said, that gives us the basis that no, we still need a human factor in there, because at the end of the day, we're going to set up the system.
So
We're
what
going to
I'm
be,
hearing is the profile has evolved. It's not
yeah,
just enough for you to have technical skill sets. We need that human factor.
yeah, we do. But because of the advent of AI, that means that we need technicians to be able to have analytical thinking,
Agreed.
where you are able to look beyond the technical skills.
That's
Um,
good.
because today, AI can do the coding. So I don't just need to be a coding person, but I should be able to analyze and say, okay, giving those factors to my AI platform, I will be able to generate those outcomes.
That's
That is
good.
where your uh, analytical thinkings are. That's
Like
where you are
critical.
able to look at the situations and can do predictability of it based on the AI tools you have. So it's purely above just knowing how to fix an issue, but reasoning beyond that,
Yeah.
um, being able to look at operational issues and risk issues across board, and being able to determine that, okay, with this level of risk we have, these are measures we could put in place, and taking advantage of our AI to be able to do that. So that is my thing. Yeah.
Thank you so much. The second question, now going a little bit deeper into Red
Yeah.
Oak, you're in a unique position seeing both the promise and the peril of AI in security. How is Red Oak thinking about AI not just as a threat vector to defend against, but as a tool that's reshaping how we approach GRC, which you did touch on a little bit of that. And what's the balance?
Yeah. So at Red Oak, we believe that you just don't need to see AI as a threat. Yes, because the bad guys will take advantage of it to be able to do whatever they have to do. But we'll look at it from a more positive way. For example, we want to build we are what we call our own GRC platform we've developed based on standards frameworks we know, both niche standard frameworks and other international frameworks.
Hmm.
But looking at all of that, when we did our studies, we realized that on some of these frameworks have their strengths and their weaknesses, and we be able to come up with our own frameworks. But looking at the strength of those to provide our customers a customized standardization that give them the best of the best. So that's
Awesome.
what we're looking at it. Now, how do AI come in here? We look at AI as the deployment tool for us.
Wow.
So
Okay.
if I want to be able to assess level of risk or governance or compliance for an enterprise, I don't want to aggregate logs manually. I don't want to go into that system and say, hey, what is your level of exposure at your database level? What is your level of exposure at your internet banking, mobile banking, or your customer relationship platform? No. I want to give you a total view of your operational risk, where you sit right on the top of it and be able to know that, okay, this is my total exposure. And these are the level of categories I have and how I'll be able to mitigate that. For us to be able to achieve that, because of the level of logs you're looking at, that is where Red Oak want to deploy AI here as a
Mhm.
tool to be able to give you that quick exposure. We look at automating these things where you could get an alert straight away from your phone telling you that, hey, you have an exposure here. And we want to take it even further with our setup to say, okay, with this, you can even instruct our AI tool to be able to make the decision for you, because you don't need to manually come in onto the system to determine how do I mitigate this. If somebody is, for example, breaking into your account and they are transferring money out, that's not the time you want to be sure of it. You want to instruct the AI to say, hey, block that transfer. I want to look at it later on and determine where I should be able to go. That is where we are we are bringing AI to be able to make those decisions to block whatever we're supposed to do before the attack vectors will be able to take advantage of you.
That's awesome. What I'm really hearing is one, utilizing AI as a tool, not being afraid of it, but
Yeah.
also going back even to our earlier discussion, empowering individuals with not just the tools, but the thought process to
Yep.
program AI to make the decisions that are required, especially in times of risk and when compliance issues come up.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's kind of change topics, but same vein. Let's talk about the talent pipeline and the
Yep.
challenges associated with it. There is a well-documented cybersecurity talent shortage, but the field
Mhm.
is also changing faster than traditional education can really keep up with. What unconventional backgrounds or even transferable skills are you finding that are really valuable or most valuable when you're building a team personally? And where should an aspiring professional focus their energy?
Yeah, I mean, the truth is that because of the level of integrations we have across today, you don't just have a mobile phone. Your mobile phone is able to allow you to do all your transactions.
Right.
It's able to allow you to do almost pretty much everything on it. So there's a high level of integrations. Even in your house,
Mhm.
you're able to control your fridge from your app.
Yeah.
You're able to put on your AC from your app. So that means that that level of integration across devices will require us to be able to just move beyond that. That said, that has created a higher level of exposure and risk globally. Um,
Mhm.
he has estimated that we're looking at almost one third of devices globally are AI or cyber at risk. So that means that the bad guys will definitely take advantage of it because
Right.
they want to create their ransomware and then siphon money out of all those processes. So how do we then come in? What we've also observed is that you don't really need pure technical IT knowledge to become a cyber expert.
Okay.
You can have what we call transferable skills.
Right.
So as long as you could do analytical thinking,
Mm.
you can work in the cyber sphere,
Okay.
taking advantage of the AI tool. Because today we see people who have no background, who have not done computer science, who have not done IT as core programs, but somebody like just a psychologist. But
Mm.
what advantage is he bringing to bear? Is able to do what we call social engineering analysis because as a psychologist, he
Okay.
knows how the human mind works.
Wow.
And so he's bringing down transferable skills into the cyber sphere to say, hey, if I see a certain pattern of human behavior, then I can predict whether that outcome will be negative or positive because my psychology teaches me that.
That's good.
So that is where we realize that no, there are skill sets that are purely non-IT related, but people are able to transfer those skills. Typical of a pure mathematicians is just looking at A plus B given in C. So if I see a pattern of a certain behavior or a certain outcome, I will be able to predict a certain result.
Mm.
So that said, that means that what I really need to be one of the best in the cyber sphere is not necessarily somebody who have done programming or who is a network engineer or who is whatever you may call it, but I'll be able to transfer those skill sets that I have, which is not IT, into my sphere, and I'll also be able to fit in. So I want to say that that's why Red O comes in here. The program we are doing, or some of the things we want to do, is to position you to first of all identify those transferable skills you have,
Hmm.
and then how do you then make use of those transferable skills you have in order to be able to take advantage of the thousands, if not the millions of jobs currently available in the cyber environment. Of course, building, taking advantage of the AI as well.
Awesome. So what I'm really hearing is analytical skills, critical
Yep.
thinking skills, this ability to conceive problems beyond what is actively presented to you. And so that can really come from a plethora of different previous career backgrounds. Um, in the same vein, in GRC, there's this tension between checking compliance boxes and actually being secure, right? From an operations perspective, how do you help organizations move from this idea of performative security to actual genuine resilience, especially as regulations are struggling to keep up with the pace of emerging AI risks?
Yeah, the truth is, we've actually moved from, how do we call it, firefighting security concept to be um, forward looking, in the sense that because of how quick and how vulnerable you can become because of AI tools, you must be able to see above or beyond the bad guy.
Yeah.
That means that there's no time for you to be able to analyze and determine and even make decisions when you are vulnerable. That
Mm,
means that you should be able to think 5 steps ahead of your vulnerability or the bad guy to put up measures to be able to do that.
right.
That said, that means that that require a deep thinking, a deep analysis of your infrastructure,
Hmm.
um, and keep up to base with everything that is available. And these are some of the measures you could put in place. It will take your infrastructure, for example, your OS level, you have to be on top of your updates,
Mm,
right? So, for example, what about OS you are using, whether it's Microsoft, um, Windows operating system you're using, or Linux environment, there are updates that are released almost pretty much every time. You
mm,
have to make sure that once those updates are pushed up, you analyze them, you test them, and you should fix your updates as quickly as possible because somebody have identified the issues and they want to take advantage of it.
that's good.
So that is how you have to look at vulnerability or exposure or risk from that perspective. You
Right.
don't want to give room to your enemy, so to speak, to take advantage of that.
Mm,
Secondly, you also want to employ the best tools that will allow you to be able to do that. For example, you want to protect your environment by using next generation's firewalls, which gone are the days where firewalls only does filtrations.
hmm.
Those are traditional firewalls where they are just doing analysis of the packet that are coming in and leaving on that. No, we now move on to actually analyzing the packet to determine patterns of the packet that are coming into your network. Based on that, then you make a decision. So, and we call this next generation firewall. So that is where you want to position your environment so that
Makes sense.
based on a certain patterns, you're able to predict behaviors. For example, you see a transaction that is hitting your environment, just $1, $1, and it's almost like five. Once that's a pattern that should
Yeah,
tell you that though somebody want to take advantage of your environment because normally who will do a transaction and is doing $5 or $1 5 times? He doesn't have
exactly.
that time.
Exactly.
So that is to tell you that no, there's something wrong somewhere. You want to block it quickly. So that's how you have to think. Yeah.
That that's amazing. So I keep hearing a reoccurring theme as you're answering these questions, and it sounds like the difference between the organization and the individual that's ready for this emerging AI powered future, and the one that is not is the mind, the human intellect equation. And thankfully, there's opportunities and ways we can train our human intellect to keep up. AI is programmed off of human intelligence, right? It's
Yeah.
artificial intelligence, but it's based off our intelligence. And so, how we stay on the cutting edge of AI, to your point, it's those pattern recognitions, it's the deciphering, it's the cognitive choices and decisions and the strategies that we implement ahead of the fraud and the cyber attacks. In that same vein, if you're advising a mid-career professional, so this is someone that's already established in a specific career, but they're looking to pivot into cybersecurity because the writing seems to be on the wall, or even AI risk governance, because that's huge right now and it's going to only get bigger. What's one capability or certification that you would tell them to pursue? And then what's going to separate the competitive candidates from everyone else as this field matures?
Um, I mean, you mentioned certificate, which is very, very important, because you come to realize that sometimes it's not just the degree you need. Somebody said that university studies is universal. That means that they give you pretty much everything and everything you need. But you need to be able to do some certifications. Because we talk about cyber, pretty much ISC2 certifications are one of the best. For example, the CSSP certifications, that Certified Information System certifications, give you pretty much a very solid understanding of what we call the 8 areas in cybersecurity. You know, um, you look at your networking, you look at your infrastructure, um, and so on. So it helps you to have a broad understanding of it. If you grasp these 8 areas, that means you are solid,
Okay.
right? And the exam covers all the 8 areas.
Okay.
So you write this in almost all of them. Um, so once you have that strong understanding, you could pretty much fit in almost every aspect of the organization they will put you to, whether it's governance, whether it's infrastructure or it's networking, you are able to fit in pretty much there as well. We also have CISM, which is also one of the best certifications you could also talk about. That is information system management. So where you look at managing the information system of organizations,
Okay.
making sure that you provide the right policy, the right updates, and then of course helping management to be able to have the right reporting, to be able to make key decisions for the growth of the organizations.
Mm.
So these are very, very important. But on top of these uh, international certification, you can also do what we call corporate-based certifications. For example, IBM also offers their certifications in cybersecurity
Okay.
and all that, which I mean, pretty much is quite good.
Okay.
Uh, it also teaches on their infrastructure because they are one of the leading infrastructures providers you could find today.
Okay.
Oracle does the same. Oracle pretty much also have certifications for most of their services as well. Then because we talking about cloud today, because when we are moving from physical environment into um, co-hosting
Mm-hmm.
in the cloud, you must be able to have deep knowledge in, for example, AWS cloud environment,
Okay.
Azure environment, just to cite these two, which is very important because, I mean, gone are the days where a company want to be able to acquire their own hardware,
Mm.
maintain it, and pay the utility for it, which is very expensive,
Right.
you know. So everybody is moving to the cloud. So you, as a technical person coming into the environment, must have these technology at best so that you are able to provide the right support for the organization. So those are a few that I think if you're able to do this, you
There's
should be
that.
on top of your work. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it would be remiss if I also didn't mention Red Oak's GRC
Yeah.
education that is upcoming in this training. Mr. Ashian is one of the instructors, and he, as well as our other trainers, are going to give you that same level of insight into how to prepare to be a cybersecurity professional, and the tools and the skill sets that you require, as well as foundational knowledge. So, thank you for that. Thank you for your time today. I know that you are a busy man, so it is not easy wearing all the hats that you wear, but yet you took the time to answer these questions. And my hope is, as we continue to provide this information via our online fireside chats, that we can continue to educate the public at large, future professionals in cybersecurity, about the cutting edge of this industry, because I do believe that as an organization, we are absolutely at the cutting edge of cybersecurity. And thank you again, like I said, for your time. I look forward to people who are watching coming back for the next fireside chat, and we will see you all next time. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.